Hello, YouTubers, friends, compatriots, rulers, Jews, desolators, peasants, vassals, Hamas, West Bankers, Gaza strippers. I'm a useful idiot, and today Palestine went one more step towards recognition of statehood as a UN General Assembly approved a new resolution that grants Palestine an upgrade from observer status entity to non-member state, which puts it on equal footing with, say, the Vatican. And it was an overwhelming vote, 138 countries for, 41 countries abstained, which was probably fairly diplomatic, and then 9 opposed, of course, the U.S. and Israel. And ironically, the U.S. and Israel have already promised retaliation and economic retaliation for this move, which of course is perplexing because the world's been told for decades now that this move towards a two-state solution is the road ahead. And this is a big step for Palestine, and I congratulate the Palestinian people for this small victory. And I hope that it reaps great fruit and great rewards for everyone involved. And it's kind of an interesting power play we have going on, because we have Abbas, who is the head of Palestine in the West Bank, and then we have Hamas, who represent Palestine in Gaza. And this is a big victory for Abbas, and the Palestine of West Bank had Hamas, and had he lost, it probably would have been seen as more of a victory for the Hamas Palestine in Gaza. But anyway, more importantly, this is a step towards statehood, and I think it's a positive step personally, and I think it's the only solution, although it has some complexities, and I'll go into that more in a minute. First, I want to talk a little bit about what Netanyahu said, and of course he said exactly what we would expect him to say. He said, quote, "The decision at the United Nations will change nothing on the ground. It will not advance the establishment of a Palestinian state. In fact, it will delay it further," unquote. So we get exactly what we expected from Netanyahu. He's not going to budge one inch. And in fact, illegal settlements in the West Bank by Jewish settlers have doubled in the time that Netanyahu has been in office in the last 12 years. So it's kind of interesting that it's up to Israel whether Palestine gets any of its own country back. And most of the land that Israel is offering to Palestine for their new state is land that they stole from Egypt, the Gaza Strip, during the 1967 war. So a very interesting and complex situation here in our modern age as far as who owns what land in that area. So, but where this gets complex, and I can understand Israel's reticence to a certain degree of the creation of a Palestinian state, because right now Palestinians as vassals and prisoners in a ghetto that Israel has created, there's little the outside world can really do as Israel handles Palestine the way it wants to, anytime it wants to. And the closer that Palestine gets to becoming a state, the more they pose a threat, because then Palestine has an avenue through international court systems and the UN to address their grievances with Israel. And Israel will no longer be able to strong-arm Palestine quite as much. And of course, when it becomes a clash between two nations, as opposed to one nation occupying another nation and minimizing part of the population, obviously as a two-state clash, things get more complex as well, and all the new rights that a Palestinian state would have. And we also have to consider the fact that tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands, of Palestinian refugees scattered all over the globe and all over the Middle East, just like the exodus to Israel, would probably return to a greater Palestinian state. And certainly if they did, it would have some of the highest density on the globe. But this dream of having a Palestinian state is just a little step closer to realization, with a lot of drama to come as the U.S. and Israel economically retaliate. And we'll see if this moves Palestine any closer to statehood in reality, or if it's merely a symbolic gesture. We'll have to see. But certainly the pluses and minuses are becoming all the more apparent of Palestine becoming a state. A very complex situation. But in the meantime, I say congratulations to the Palestinian people. Enjoy this moment, and we'll see what it holds. And as for Israel and the U.S. and your policy towards Israel and Palestine, we'll see if this has any sort of shift and has any sort of influence on future policy. I certainly hope so, and I certainly hope it goes in the right direction. I'm Useful Idiot. Don't you be one too.